Hi everyone, welcome to Medicine YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see about pharynx. It is the common chamber for food, air, voice. So, it is a non-collapsible muscular tube. It is common chamber for the food, air as well as voice. So, it is non-collapsible muscular tube. It is you will see the extension from the base of the skull to the 6th cervical vertebra. The extension is from the above from the base of the skull to the below to 6th cervical vertebra. Exactly if we say from base of the sphenoid to the lower border of the cricoid cartilage. Now we will see the situation. It lies behind nasal cavity, oral cavity and laryngeal cavity. This pharynx lies behind the nasal and oral as well as laryngeal cavity. Now we will see the boundaries. Above by the base of the sphenoid or basi-occiput in front of the pharyngeal tubercle. Below, if we see below this cricoid cartilage, anteriorly it continues as trachea as well as posteriorly it continues as esophagus. From the pharynx, anteriorly it continues as trachea and posteriorly as esophagus. Anteriorly it opens to the nasal cavity through the posterior nasal aperture. Anterior continues as trachea and opens to the nasal cavity through the posterior nasal aperture and opens to the posteriorly it opens to the oral cavity through the oropharyngeal isthmus, as well as it opens to the laryngeal cavity through the inlet of the larynx. These are the openings of the pharynx. Now we will see the posterior. Posteriorly, upper to the 1 to 6 cervical vertebra are seen. Posterior relation, intervertebral disc. If the vertebra is seen, there are intervertebral discs. So, in the vertebra, there are prevertebral muscles as well as prevertebral fascia. There is retropharyngeal space as well as pharyngobasilar fascia is seen. To drain something, there is retropharyngeal lymph nodes are present posteriorly. It is divided into 3 parts according to the situation. As I said, it lies behind the nasal cavity, oral cavity as well as laryngeal cavity. The part which lies behind the nasal cavity is known as nasopharynx. The part which lies behind the oral cavity is known as oropharynx. The part which lies behind the laryngeal cavity is known as laryngopharynx. You will see one by one each one. In next video you will see about the muscle as well as nerve supply. Nasopharynx. It is a part of the pharynx behind the nasal cavity. Extension above from the base of the skull up to C2 vertebra. Below open to the oropharynx through nasopharyngeal opening. Anteriorly it opens to the nasal cavity through the posterior nasal aperture. Posteriorly upper 2 cervical vertebra and prevertebral fascia as well as muscle. Laterally, there are tubal elevation formed by the medial end of the cartilaginous part of the auditory tube and pharyngotympanic tube or pharyngotympanic tube. The tubal elevation is formed by the auditory tube. I have already uploaded a video in the auditory tube. Please do watch it before seeing this for better understanding. The auditory tube has 2 parts, which is bony part as well as cartilaginous part. In the cartilaginous part, the medial end forms the tubal elevation, which is seen lateral of the nasopharynx. Now we will see the function of the auditory tube to equalize the pressure of the tympanic membrane. The tubal opening, it communicates the nasopharynx with the middle ear cavity. The tubal opening is for the communication of the nasopharynx to the middle ear cavity. The nerve supply, 9th nerve, pharyngeal branches of the pterygopalatine ganglia, taste fibers by the vagus. The epithelium is ciliated columnar epithelium is present in the nasopharynx. Now we will see the oropharynx, a part of the pharynx behind the oral cavity. Extension from the soft palate to the epiglottis opposite to the 3rd cervical vertebra. Boundary, above it opens to the nasopharynx, below to the laryngopharynx, anteriorly to the oropharynx. Laterally, it has two folds, which is a palatoglossal fold as well as palatopharyngeal fold. The palatoglossal fold contains palatoglossal muscle. The palatopharyngeal fold contains palatopharyngeus muscle. In between the two folds, there is a hole there is a fossa which is known as tonsillar fossa, where the palatine tonsil lies there. I have also uploaded a video in the palatine tonsil. Please do watch it. Epithelium, lined by the stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. Now we will see about the last one, which is laryngopharynx. It is the lower subdivision of the pharynx from the epiglottis to the cricoid cartilage. It corresponds C4 to C6 vertebra. Laterally, it contains pyriform fossa. This pyriform fossa is otherwise known as magician pouch. There is an applied aspects in the pyriform fossa because in olden days the smugglers hide the diamonds inside this pyriform fossa and take away the diamonds from one country to the another country. Medially, it is related to the aryepiglottic fold and mucous membrane and the branches of internal laryngeal nerve below. Laterally, it is lamina of the thyroid cartilage. Above it opens to the oropharynx. The applied anatomy is, it is place of a collection of the foreign bodies. The floor contains internal laryngeal nerve. This floor contains internal laryngeal nerve. Any injury to the floor causes cardiac arrest. Thank you. For more videos, please do like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. If you have any doubt in it, please do comment it. Thank you.